Hi, my name is Tammy Zimmer, and I'm a high school math and physics teacher with Success Virtual Learning Centers of Michigan. And I have been a teacher in alternative education now for 15 years. And I'm reaching out to you because many of the students that I work with are at risk for dropping out or have had struggles previously, or even right now, also with completing high school classes, as well as motivation to move forward toward that goal. Many of my students don't see the benefits of getting a high school diploma because right now, especially after COVID, they can go out and get jobs for $15 an hour and they think that's big money. As we know that that's not big money. And about 4 years from now, when they're out on their own, their early 20s, and some of them might have kids at that point, some of my students do have kids now, that's no longer going to be big money. And I want them to be able to see that they need options. I want to continue to motivate them to finish high school so that way they're finishing what they start, but also that will afford them more options in the future. So, throughout my career, I've been fairly good at pulling rabbits out of my hat to motivate students to invest in themselves more in one way or another and move toward graduation. Here's just a short example of what I mean by that.
My name is Zimmer, and I'm here to say math can be done an easier way. You can call me, text, or Google Hangouts too, or come to my office hours that I have daily for you. Math can be challenging, but don't despair. Working together, we can get you there.
Okay, so that's just a short example. One of the more extreme examples of things that I've tried to hook students and kind of pull them in and think outside of the box to try to get them to move forward a little bit more. So a little kooky for sure, but when I tell you that I've tried lots of things and I pull rabbits out of my hat, I truly mean it. I truly mean that I think outside of the box and I try to hook them and get them in. So again, since COVID, it's been pretty difficult to get some of my students on track. We've had new students join the virtual program who didn't know what online learning was before because, of course, the big upheaval because of COVID. And a lot of students just don't have the discipline or the motivation on their own because basically that's what they're doing on their own at home if they don't come into the center, which many of my students do not. So I'm messaging them 3 different ways, 3 different times a day, trying to call, try to get them on video chats, all types of things, trying to get them encouraged to keep going toward motivation to finish high school. I send them letters, I send postcards, I send happy birthdays, I send just because. So there's a lot of things that I try to do. And so something that I'm doing now is reaching out to you. So recently, our leadership team had us read a book to become better educators called Teacher Secrets by Manny Scott, who, if you don't know who Manny Scott is, he's one of the real life students from the true story portrayal of the movie Freedom Writers. And he talks about trying to relate to students by talking about their social influencers to get their attention. So that's what's brought me to you because I sent out a questionnaire to my students, asked them who are the people they follow, they look up to, they like as a celebrity, they follow as a social media influencer, all that great stuff, favorite artists, things like that. And so I'm reaching out to you. You're on their list. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking just a few minutes with me out of your very busy schedule to do a video interview. Something about the importance of high school or your high school experience. Maybe you went through high school and you struggled also, and maybe you took a break from high school from a while and came back and found the value in finishing that, or setting a goal to graduate, or your thoughts of high school education if they're positive. Also, the value of finishing what you start, or maybe other thoughts, insights, motivational messages of encouragement that you would be willing to share just to kind of hook my students to try to get even one more kid to graduate, because that would be pretty amazing. I truly care about my students and I would really like to reach them in a new way that I haven't tried. Obviously, this might be a little out of my comfort zone. Even doing that video was a little out of my comfort zone, but it's something I'm willing to do to reach these teenagers that I care deeply about. And I just want to help. I want to help them invest in themselves, see that they are important and that investing in their education is important. If doing a video interview with me is not something that you're interested in, maybe you would consider recording a small PSA message about the importance of staying in school and, hey, your teachers really care about you. So, dig in, dig deep, make it happen, invest in yourself. You're the only one you can do it, that type of thing. And allow me to share that with my students so that way, maybe you and I can work together as a team, and we can make this happen for even just one more student. I greatly appreciate your time and your consideration with my project motivation. I have sent you a letter as well, so please take serious consideration. And if you'd like to reach out to me, obviously on the screen there's different ways to reach out to me as well, or just respond to this message that I've sent. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good day.